Okay, so welcome back to our next lesson. In this lesson, we're going to discuss how do we evaluate risk. So for each hazardous situation, we must determine if the risk is acceptable or not. That is what we mean by evaluate. In order to do this, we first define our risk acceptability. This will also go into our risk management plan, and it will be a table similar to what is shown below. So because earlier, when we decided how we're going to describe probability, we used 5 discrete levels. When we decided how we're going to define severity, we used 5 discrete levels. Hence, we get a 5 by 5 table. You, as an organization, can choose to do this a bit different. Some people go 3 by 3, some people go 6 by 6. As a general rule of thumb, 5 by 5 keeps auditors happy, and 3 by 3 some auditors will call out as inappropriate. So 5 by 5 is a good way to go about it. And then when we look at this table, we've classified each risk by probability of occurrence and severity of harm. And then we use this table to say, is the risk low, medium, or high? And after we've done that, we basically apply the following rules. So if the risk is evaluated as low, then we say the risk is acceptable. However, risk control measures may still be introduced if practicable to do so. And just a word of caution there, another trap people fall into is this word practicable. It's not the word practical. This word comes from the standard and it basically means so long as it's possible to introduce a risk control measure and it doesn't add a new risk, then you should introduce it irregardless of how feasible or unfeasible it is. Unlike the word practical, which often people confuse this word with. If the word was practical, then it would be the case you only introduce risk control measures if it's feasible. But that's not what we must do here. Even if a risk is acceptable, you still introduce risk control measures so long as it is practicable or so long as it is possible. In the other cases, if a risk is evaluated as medium, risk control measures should be considered. If further risk control is not practicable, the risk may be deemed acceptable. And the last one is if a risk is evaluated as high, the risk is unacceptable, risk control measures must be introduced. Okay, I'll leave that lesson there. I'll see you in the next.